You
Do
like
you want to,
fires?
huh?
You like fires?
Fires or some what?
All the chaos that's been taking place this year, at least in the sports world so far.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
Hey,
That's news this week. We're going to be talking about something. We'll figure that out when we get
yeah,
to it.
something like that. Because I really didn't have a plan. I had a guess, but unfortunately, I'm not a very good communicator, so it is
Plans
what
fall
it
through.
is.
Yeah. Well, you just went to DC. What were you doing up there?
The cherry blossoms were in full bloom, almost full bloom. I'll say peak bloom this week. And if you ever get a chance to go down to the Tidal Basin, it's really pretty. Oh my God. I went with a few friends, two of my coworkers and a friend that I've known since middle school.
Cool. Yeah. You just drove up there. That's pretty close for you, I guess.
30 minutes is not close.
That's pretty
Um,
close.
but I mean, it was metroable. So that's what we ended up doing. I mean, I don't want to spend too much money on gas. You know how that is.
It costs like $1 million to drive anywhere now. Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
Uh,
That is whatever. That's not the only thing that's burning. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the NFL free agency, have you, by any chance?
sure. What do you got? Hit me.
Well, let's see. Jacksonville may have broken the wide receiver market with the deal they gave to Christian Kirk. Tyreek Hill got traded. Devontae Adams got traded. Aaron Rodgers is back, but Russell Wilson got traded. And the NFC West has turned into, or not the NFC West, the AFC West has turned into probably one of the strongest divisions in the league.
Uh,
Oh, and Tom Brady's back.
that
It's like he retired.
happened.
He retired for all like 6 weeks and then he unretired.
Well, he had a nice quiet off season, I guess. Half an off season, basically.
You know, whatever.
How long does he stay in the league?
I don't know. But obviously, uh, I bet if he wins another championship in the next like couple of years, or whenever his contract is up, then he'll call it quits. So that's my guess. It's either after a championship or the expiration of his contract, whichever comes first.
Well, his contract, I don't believe. See, this is his last year of his contract, technically.
No, he got an extension.
No, he didn't. When? He got an extension last year to go to this year. He's got 3 void years attached to the end of his contract. That's what you're talking about. But, those are obviously don't count.
Oh, yeah, he does have two
This is
two
his.
void years. Yeah, I thought
This
those
is
were because he's owed 8 million this year, or not an $8 million signing bonus this year, and then 24 million.
Well, because that accelerates onto next year's cap,
Yeah,
because they're all
I
void
guess
years.
I guess Spotrac hasn't updated with the fact that he's unretired. So you can see here he's got a 5-year contract at 24 million, I think, average annual value, plus an $8 million signing bonus each year. LOL.
Yeah, well, they prorate the signing bonus. Yeah. You already got that money, but really a 2-year, $50 million deal with 3 years of void years at the end to
Yeah,
prorate
something
out. We're
like
not going to
that.
get into NFL contract structure because it's too complicated for the show. But
Contract
basically,
structures are interesting, though.
basically this is his last year, right? So,
I mean, one would hope. I mean,
well, I
we'll
mean on the
see.
contract. I mean on the contract. So
Looks
by
like
your
it.
reasoning, he's going to have to get an extension if he.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting if he does or not. Although, you want to talk about a bad contract, really bad contract blowing up in somebody's face? Matt Ryan got traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a third round pick, and the Falcons are currently eating $42 million in dead cap.
Yes, but it could have been worse.
Yeah?
They tried to make it worse. They tried to do that. And we're getting back in the contract scheme, but basically they tried to eat more dead money by restructuring his contract uh, in general terms. But
Yeah,
they
this
can
is
take that stuff back.
the fourth year of his contract.
Yes, but each year they kept converting more and more money into a signing bonus. So each of the last,
Yeah.
basically, okay, let me pull this up. So the way and we'll just get so the way NFL contracts work are you have a base salary and a and a signing bonus and a bunch of other stuff too, like roster bonuses and whatever else, incentives. But the gist of it is
Such a pain.
the cap number, which is how much the money. It's an accounting thing. It's how much the money counts toward salary cap, which is the most money a team can spend in a given year, right? And so
hmm
the way you can, so if you have a $10 million base salary and a $10 million signing bonus when you get a contract, your cap number is 20 million. To dumb it down. But the way the Falcons did it, and a lot of teams do this, the Saints are notorious to do this, is converting base salary into a signing bonus, which provides all the money up front to the player, right? So they get it on day one, but they can prorate that money for cap purposes over up to 5 years, right? So you can spread out. If you're paying the money up front, but you're spreading out when the money counts toward the league's cap, the money you're allowed to spend in each year. It's kind of a loophole, but it's technically legal, and it's every team has done it. And the problem, obviously, is this can come back to bite you because you're basically pushing money for cap purposes into future years, even though you've already paid that money. So for the Falcons, the reason they have all this dead money is because they kept converting that money into signing bonuses and pushing the money off into future years. But eventually, right, the bill comes due. And that's money, that $40 million that the Falcons owe, they've already paid it. That's why it's still on the cap, because they've already paid the money to Matt Ryan.
Well, it's the rest of the contract, I guess, is the Colts' problem now. They apparently restructured the rest of his deal or something like that. But
They
yeah,
basically just made it all guaranteed. Yeah.
an already horrendous Falcons cap crunch has already become even worse. And I guess you could say we're on a full rebuild now.
They're kind of a year behind, though, aren't they? Like, shouldn't they have done this last year?
I mean, maybe, but if you were gonna bring in a new head coach, you at least want to give him something to work with. You don't have to want to force him to build a team from scratch. I mean, look at Urban Meyer.
That's a different situation. Urban Meyer
I
was never
mean,
interested in being the coach.
he tried to build a culture from scratch, and it blew up in his face royally.
Did he build a cult? Did he try to build a culture?
A culture based on fear, maybe.
I don't even know if it's fear. It's based on like weird. Yeah, I guess it is fear. Very strange situation. That's a whole other episode. Urban Meyer.
Yeah, now our quarterback is Marcus Mariota
That's
on
interesting.
a
I don't know why they would want him.
two-year, $18 million deal
It's also kind of a lot of money. It's a lot
for
of
his
money for a
quarterback.
guy who the last time he played with Arthur Smith, he got benched.
I mean, the only other quarterback on the team is Felipe Franks.
I mean, they'll probably draft a guy, but
At 8,
They could have had Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield.
And what would you give
Carson
up
Wentz.
for that? What do
You
they
may
have
get
that they can give
they
up?
may
Maybe a
get
draft
you a
pick.
pick to get Mayfield.
Would you give up the 8 overall pick for Mayfield?
But no. I'm saying the Browns might have to give the Falcons a pick to take on Mayfield's contract.
Isn't he on an entry level contract though?
He's on his 5th-year option, which counts for
Yeah.
I think it's $18.9 million, which is fully guaranteed.
I'm actually looking this up, which, by the way, SpotTrack.com is a pretty damn good resource for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I see what you're talking about. He's got an $18.858 million club option that has been exercised.
Well, yeah, and it's fully guaranteed. So they've already exercised it, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they can't really. So there's basically no point in cutting him, right? Because they don't get any of that money back, right? They save no money, and that's basically just an 18.9 million dead cap hit on the Browns. So.
I mean, he had one good year. Like he had a solid year in
No,
2020.
he's had a couple good years. He was good in his rookie season.
Yeah, he kind of took
know,
a step back in 2019, though, didn't he?
Yeah, circumstances, right? I think we understand that team was a mess.
Yeah, and then he had
Leadership-wise.
a really good year in 2020, and then he got injured in 2021.
Yeah, so I'm just saying. They could have had him probably. They could have done a Brock Osweiler situation where they buy a
God.
pick. Well, what they do is they buy the pick from the Browns. So the Browns trade Mayfield and a 4th-round pick or whatever to the Falcons for a 7th-round pick or something. So they could have done that. They could have gained something. But actually, now that I say that, I don't think the Falcons have enough space to even do that.
Do they even have any cap room? I don't even know. That's the interesting thing. It's like, what the hell is their cap situation?
Falcons have. Well, they'd have to push some. No, they're over the cap right now.
Yeah, they have negative $3,225,027 in cap space. How are you going to sign draft picks with that?
They'll move things around. They can cut guys.
As for who has the most cap space, let's see. The Carolina Panthers have the most, followed by the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. Looks like that Tyreek Hill trade paid off. They have 23 million, and they.
Yeah, the Chiefs have a lot. Technically, the Browns still have a lot. Although, no, I guess Watson just signed.
They have 22 million in cap. Oh, and the Browns threw a massive contract after Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
They threw a 4x, I think it was a 4x40 extension at him. Yeah.
Okay, look, they could clear. Well, they could really clear like $8 million in cap. The Falcons could clear $8 million in cap space by restructuring Jake Matthews' contract. Yeah.
Yeah, know what they did? That's right. I forgot about that one.
I'm saying they will.
When the league year starts, right?
But whenever, I assume they're in a rush.
That's probably what's going to happen. I'm looking at all this because it's probably weird because it's not June 1st yet. That's when the league year is going to roll over. But yeah, it's been a weird off season, that's for sure. Tyreek Hill getting traded, and he was one of the best players on the Chiefs offense. Now you still got Travis Kelce, you still got McCole Hardman. You signed Juju Smith-Schuster. That's different.
Also a year late, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. At least they gave him a 1-year prove-it deal, so that we'll see what he's up to playing,
with
making TikToks with Jackson Mahomes.
He gets a lot of scrutiny for his social media presence, but I think it's fine. I don't care.
Do you think he did that to himself?
No, I'm saying I don't know why people care so much about with Schuster's online presence. Not disruptive, I don't think. I guess they're framing it that way, but
Yeah,
I think it's fine.
maybe, but one can. I guess it was the whole like he was dancing on the logos, and then his team started losing and shit like that. But in a way, it kind of
Yeah,
makes sense if you think about it.
you gotta really think about it. Okay.
Define
Anything
really
else?
think about it.
Uh, anything else you wanted to cover there?
As far as football, I guess we'll just see what happens next. Although baseball's had a pretty interesting season. Unfortunately, the era of Freddie Freeman has come to an end.
Yeah, you said about Freddie Freeman that they basically chose Matt Olson over him. They're paying Olson like
The,
$7 million a year less.
no, I think it's $7 million a year more. So Freddie
Matt
got an
Olson?
8-year 135, right?
Did I do the math wrong? Did he?
Before before he hit free agency, he was on this was the last year of an 8 by 135, or an 8-year $135 million contract.
Or
So
no, I
that's
mean
about
what he's getting right now.
yeah is 162 million over 6 years. So he's getting 27 million right now. Matt Olson is getting 162 over 8, I think, is the number. So yeah, we basically saved yeah, you're right. We saved $7 million. If you call
That's
that
funny.
a
Matt Olson is younger. He is
yes,
what is it,
3 years.
5 years? 5 years younger. 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, actually,
Sure, 4.5 if you want. Or
something
whatever.
like that.
5 years younger. Uh, you know, they're both pretty good fielders. Right? I think they're
Yeah. But it's Freddie Freeman, man. Like, I'm from a purely business standpoint, yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's like you're getting a younger version of Freddie, and he's going to be around for a while as Acuna and Albies are getting older and evolving into their primes, if they're not already in their primes, that is.
Yeah, it's tough as a fan, but yeah, like you said, as a
Oh yeah,
business perspective, it just makes too.
yeah. But about other interesting notes, we brought Eddie Rosario back. We signed a backup catcher. Um, what else did we do? We still have Marcell Ozuna for better or worse. And then we've basically thrown gas on a fire and strength into strength with a couple of bullpen signings, Colin McHugh, Kenley Jansen, and Kirby Yates.
I think it's fine. You can never have too many bullpen.
I mean, yeah, but I'd like to see us take a starter.
Like who? Who did you want?
That's the thing, I don't know. Obviously we have our top three are set. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Ian Anderson, they're all set. The last two spots are going to be a
I
revolving
mean,
door.
yeah, Charlie Morton's like 83 years old too, though.
What? Yeah, sure. If you reverse the numbers, yeah,
Oh, is he 38?
he's 38 years old. Yeah, but he
Look at
still
that.
had a damn good season for us last year,
He is. He's still good. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying like I would.
and
It
he's
depends
around
on
for
how
2
you
years.
define. Depends on how you define set. Yeah.
I mean, he was rock solid. He's still around for 2 years. We still have Max Fried and Ian Anderson. Hopefully, we get Mike Soroka back. So yeah, at least three spots are or should be set.
Is Mike Soroka ever going to pitch like a full season?
Oh, no. He looked so good in 2019. He looked really good starting 2020, and then his Achilles like shed
I feel like
itself.
he's just never. Yeah, I don't know if he'll ever. He had one. I guess he technically had a full season in 2019.
Kinda.
Yeah, he made 29 starts.
Good point. Yeah, that is
But
true. Yeah.
he got hurt 2018, 2020, and I guess technically
2019, 2018 he was injured.
Yeah,
2020 he was
in
also injured.
2020.
Yeah. 29
And
starts. Yeah. 174 innings. Um, Pitched with 13-4 record and 268 earned run average and 142 strikeouts. Yeah, that man was good. I actually got to see him pitch once
yeah,
at Nats Park while I was an intern. But yeah, I really hope he comes back.
yeah, I just have little confidence that he'll come back.
I mean, for what it's worth, the Braves gave him an arbitration deal, so at least they have some kind of confidence that he's going to come back. So
Well,
we'll see
yeah,
what
because it's so
happens.
cheap. They'll give anyone an arbitration deal because they're so cheap.
Yeah.
How much are they paying?
Let's see. I think they still have to end up taking Austin Riley and a couple other guys to arbitration. 2.8 million was the
Yeah,
was the deal they agreed to before arbitration.
yeah, same as he made last year. So,
I think so. But there's going to be an arbitration hearing for 5 Braves players, apparently. Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, Adam Duvall, Max Fried, and Luke Jackson.
arbitration is so crazy that they have this. The only sport that does that, right?
I think so. Arbitration eligible players who don't reach an agreement with their teams are set to have their cases heard by three-person panels over video conferencing, LOL, after opening day because of the
Yeah,
lockout. But yeah, they will go to a hearing, and then we'll see. It's actually interesting. Ronald Acuna and Ozzy Albies would have gone through arbitration right about now, but they're on long-term deals. Acuna's on an 8-year 100, is Ozzy on a 7-year 35 million.
yeah,
Which, if you think about it, a 7x5 is ridiculous in baseball. Not that much in hockey, but like in hockey, that's like ridiculously high, but not ridiculously high, probably like average, but in baseball, that's ridiculously low.
I guess so.
Yeah, money in sports is a strange thing. And don't even get me started with NBA max contracts. I have no idea how that shit works.
Yeah, another whole other podcast.
Do you know any economics majors?
I do.
Yeah,
Sure, want to ask him about it.
let's have the conversation with him. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I don't know if he does money in sports. I'd assume he does, but
When he does money, he'd probably have some insight on
no, he
the
doesn't even
thing.
do money. He's an economics major. He doesn't do economics. He does
We were
some other
talking about
stuff.
the same person, right?
I don't know. I don't know if we are. I don't think we are.
Huh. Well,
So you gonna go to Braves games this year?
I want to,
Or
yeah.
no, no, no.
Oh, not in Atlanta, but here in DC. We'll see if I can make a
Maybe,
game in Atlanta. I'd love to go to a game in Atlanta.
yeah, maybe we'll go.
I don't know what's gonna happen at this point, but I'd love to go. But I'm planning on going to a Braves Nats game here in DC.
Yeah, you can go to plenty of them in DC, but I mean,
Oh yeah, of course. I've got like 2 series. One's actually a weekend series, and that's the one I'm looking forward to. Um, but yeah, like here, my best bet's probably either DC or Philadelphia.
really, go all the way up to Philly.
It's only 3 hours.
I mean, are they going to Baltimore this year? Good.
Hey, you got a good point. Doesn't look like they're coming to. They're playing
Yeah.
the Orioles. It looks like the AL games are. Let's see. We've got saw the A's. So that's going to be interesting. Matt Olson against his former team. The Mariners. Then before that, we've got the Red Sox and the Astros World Series rematch. And then before that, we have the Angels.
So maybe not the Orioles.
No. I would have liked to see that. And then before that, the Athletics again. So actually, that might be the first time we see Matt Olson take on his former team. Then before that, looks like the Rangers, the Red Sox again.
So
And
maybe
looks like the
we'll
first interleague game is going to be the Rays.
so maybe you will to go to Philly.
Oh wait, that's yeah. Well, I'll probably have to go to Philly for a weekend game. I mean, it's only 3 hours.
You're not going to go to a weekday game? Oh, I feel like there's value there.
I mean, sure, but also I gotta go to work. Maybe a Thursday game because Fridays I just
Yeah,
work from home anyway.
yeah, exactly.
So it's whatever.
Even then, I mean, well, yeah, I guess you can't go to an afternoon game.
Right.
But like a Wednesday night, you wouldn't do?
No, I wouldn't do a Wednesday night. Um,
Huh?
the other game I'm looking forward to is Georgia Tech versus Virginia Tech here in Blacksburg. Be my first time at Lane Stadium. That'll be fun.
I thought you'd been there already.
That was Scott Stadium. That was
It's all the
Scott
same.
Stadium.
It's all the same. All right.
Speak for yourself. Scott
Yeah,
Stadium is
so
pretty electric though, especially at night. That was a fun game to go to. Too bad we
are
lost by
you
8.
well, are you going to be going to any Georgia Tech football games this year?
Other than the Georgia Tech Virginia Tech game, I do not know. If I look at the schedule, I don't know when I'm going to be in Atlanta again, when I'm going to be in Atlanta next. So going to a game in Atlanta is going to be tricky. But Virginia Tech is 3 hours away, and then the next closest one is, I don't know if I don't think, it's probably UNC.
It's not that close.
Maybe Pitt. If I pull up the old
Pitt's far.
maps.google.com,
Pitt's far. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure. Yeah, you can have my location.
Pitt
Heinz
is
Field is a 4-hour drive, 4 hours and 3 minutes, with tolls. If I want to avoid them, it balloons to 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Not to mention finding a hotel. But Lane Stadium is 3.5 hours. It's more palatable. And then UNC is 4 hours.
Okay, so it's pretty even. You can go to either.
Yeah. I mean, that's a solid radius. For what it's worth, Scott Stadium was about 2 hours away. Really closer to 90 minutes. So that was definitely a more palatable drive. Except for the fact that
Oh, go ahead.
Except for the fact the game is at 7:30, so I ended up staying over in Glen Allen and then getting a hotel in Glen Allen, which was like a good hour away.
Did they release the schedule yet? I don't think so, right?
Schedules been released, times have not necessarily, except
Times have.
for actually no game times have been released. But I anticipate that Clemson will be a night game because it's on Monday.
Well, you never
It's on
know.
Labor Day.
It's Labor Day,
Um,
though, so it could be during the day.
yeah, Virginia will definitely be a night game because it's on a Thursday.
Again, you never know. It's
It's a weekday game. There has to be a night game
they can make it a 2 p.m. game. So.
on a weekday. I get on a weekend, but on a weekday, I don't know. I don't think so. This isn't the
Just to get
Mac.
crazy. Just to get crazy. Yeah.
This isn't the Mac. Actually, not even they pull that shit. You get the point, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Who the hell knows what's gonna happen? It's gonna be an interesting year in sports for sure. The Falcons move on without Matt Ryan. The Braves move on without Freddie Freeman. Georgia Tech has to deal with the fact that UGA won a national championship and probably is going to give Coach Collins another year. Hopefully he delivers us some results. I like the man's energy, but well,
If he doesn't win, like I think he's got to win. How many games does he have to win to not get fired?
probably get to a bowl game.
So 6.
Yeah. Hell, I maybe even make if he makes it in with 5 wins, that's great.
I think 5 would be close, but I think he's got to get 6 to be safe. Right?
Yeah. No, I'd like to
It's
see us.
been
I'd like to see us go to a bowl game. I
I
would
you
really
know
love to see us go to a bowl game.
obviously both of us know a lot of people that went there and still go there, but I know a lot of people have been on kind of a roller coaster of emotions with his tenure at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
You know, there's some nice
That's it.
highs, but there's just a lot of lows. And if he's not successful by now, it's tough to see what he keeps saying he's building, right?
It is tough. Like I like the man's energy. You can see what he's building off the field. You can definitely see what he's building off the field. The man is like keeping the team. It's like he's he's able to like keep the team together, keep them working hard. Now you just got to see it translate on the field. That's all.
Yeah, and we talked about this during our
And
Georgia Tech
there's
episode.
flashes on the field. There's definitely flashes on the field. Like we know what this Georgia Tech team can be. Now we just got to see it on a day to day, on a week by week basis. And I'm sure we will.
Any thoughts on Passner?
Why are they all pushing for his firing a year after the ACC championship? You realize he developed the core that he did that took him to an ACC championship over a period of 4 years. Now he's got to do it again.
Well,
again.
I think
Um,
I think that's a bit flawed. I don't think it should take him I don't think it should take him 4 years to build up a quality team. But yeah, I see your point. This was definitely, I don't think anyone should have expected,
I mean,
a
not
big
with
season
losing
this.
Alvarado and Moses Wright. I mean, yeah, we still
Yeah,
have Michael DeVoe and Jordan Usher, and then
they won't
Khalid
next
Moore
year.
is a solid, yeah, now we won't. But also we have younger guys, and they're young, and that's the thing. They're young.
Yeah, he's done a good job of developing players, especially big men, obviously. But um,
Yeah, look at Alvarado
this
and Wright.
was this was definitely sort of a rebuilding year, and I don't think anyone should have expected otherwise. There was a little worse than I expected, but
For what it's
it,
worth, Devo Coleman looked pretty good. He
yeah,
might be,
I think he and Miles Kelly says his name is
okay.
fine.
I want to see more Tristan Maxwell next year. And
Yeah,
we need to develop a real true center. I think we still
another
have
Rodney
Saba
Howard year.
Jijibaria. I don't know if we'll still have Rodney Howard, but one of them's going to need to take the mantle.
Again, that's why the best thing that Pastner's done is develop big men. So don't worry about that. Um,
Yeah.
but I think he could hire like an offensive assistant. I mean, obviously he has one, but like just someone new to bring in to help with the offense would be good.
Right, because we
I
all
think
know he
defense
can
will
coach a
always be good.
defense.
Yeah, the defense will always be good, but I think he just needs kind of another set of eyes, maybe a third party to help him with the offense. Is all. And they did a much better job of shooting threes the past couple of years than they had earlier in past tender. So I guess there is improvement, but
The
it's
same
been
last
slow.
year too.
That's what I mean.
Same
The past
last
couple
year
of years.
too. So I think we're getting something there. It's like
Yeah,
we're opening up the middle of the floor.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
Over
like
the
that's
past couple of
exactly what
years.
we need to do. We gotta be able to open up the middle of the floor. That way, like we can lean on our big boys. Like we know, like my first year in the band, like we had Ben Lammers. He was really good. Josh Okogie in the paint. Quentin Stevens and Todrick Jackson were solid from beyond. And then after that, we heavily leaned on our front court guys, at least until Jose Alvarado was healthy and we got Jordan Usher.
Alvarado makes a big difference, and he's making a difference in the NBA too. So
Yeah, how about that? How about Jose Alvarado in the NBA? His last game against the Spurs, he had like 15 points, 7 rebounds, or 7 assists and 3 steals. And actually, against the Hawks, he had a really good game of. Actually, I think that's the game I was thinking. He had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals against the Hawks. Actually, that game I was talking about was against the Bulls. Today against the Spurs, he had 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in 29 minutes. So man's doing good.
yeah, he's not on a good team, but he's
Well, who knows? They might become a good team. They might surprise some people in the playoffs. He's got oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong Jose Alvarado. I saw Jose Alvarado out with neck issue. Oh, they're talking about the Phillies pitcher. We like our Jose Alvarado better than the.
every Jose Alvarado is a fine Jose Alvarado. Okay, I
Yes,
think
but Georgia Tech is the best.
we'll wrap up there unless you have something else you wanted to talk about.
Not really. Hopefully next time I can be better planned. Let's be real.
We'll figure it out.
What are we
Thanks
gonna
for
call
coming
this
on.
episode? The Hodgepodge episode?
It's the episode that I'm gonna title it something.
We'll probably just call it just like refer to it as an unplanned episode. Let's be real. That's what this was.